on, everybody? Welcome to episode 994 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined today by James Dean Rader to my right. And, of course, as always, from the frozen north of Wisconsin, Ben Funky Askren joins. Ben, what's happening? How you doing?
I'm dying how professional you guys look right now.
I know. We're about to totally ruin everything by doing this show. But for right now, we look like real titans of industry. And, of course, we would not be able to break in the new studio without our guy, the pride of Long Island, wired for sound, Oliver Estone. Ollie, how you doing?
Yo, what up, gang? I'm doing good.
It's good to have you back.
I'm very excited for today's show, and I'm going to let you guys tell the people why I'm so excited.
I'm not sure. I don't know why.
Where are we?
We're in the new studio.
There you go. Very excited.
Well, I'm excited to be here as well. We've been downstairs in this little closet for a couple months while this has been built. I've been talking about this new studio, and I think some of you didn't believe this was going to happen, some of you listeners back home, but truly so excited, so thankful to be in here, thankful to Flo for investing in this space. And
I had a question for you, Christian.
Okay.
Because be able to see your whole body, but I've noticed there's no desk in front of you guys. How are you guys supposed to research your stats now? You guys are going to be even worse at picks than you have been previously.
Listen, I'm ready for pick'ems this week. I put in the work.
So no research.
And you know what's interesting, and I'd be interested for Ollie's take here. So JD, we like to pick. And this guy, Ben, he can't figure out what he wants to do. Hold on. Ben can't figure it out because he's like, he gets so irritated, so irritable when JD forgets the picks or there's not enough picks. And then JD says, you know what? Okay, I'll put in some picks. Maybe he got a little carried away and he had like 40-some picks. But what does Ben do? Ben becomes dismissive, Ben Askren, and he starts highlighting the ones that he thinks are pointless. Some of which
Junk matches. There's a bunch of junk matches in there.
I thought, now the one I will push back on is Dayton Fix versus Evan Frost. I think that's a match. I mean, we're talking about Evan Frost. He made the CKLV finals. This guy's really tough.
I said a large line. Also, you owe me a public apology. I don't know if you listened last time.
I did.
Yes, because last week you said you mailed in these picks and you went and got a losing record.
4-4. Hold on. One.
It's 4-5.
4-5. Well, it depends. It depends
if you count all of them.
And hold on, Christian. And you were going to lose both picks on Sunday, too. Caleb Smith didn't wrestle against Matt Ramos, which you guys got lucky on. And Dayton Pitzer pulled out when he was losing by a past the spread.
Well, none of that matters. And this is going to be my week.
Also,
it doesn't matter.
Y'all are picking on me. I think I might be beating you season total this year.
All
We're
right.
about the same.
Listen,
Ben is in the lead, but
That's
you can no
crazy.
longer poo-poo me because then you're poo-pooing yourself.
Yeah, well, I heard JD was poo-poo fest in the whole
He's
pick.
the worst. He's the worst picker there is.
But now he's the same as you.
I don't
You're
know
the
about
worst
that.
picker.
I don't think so. I think this is my week. I'm not that far behind Ben for all his.
Ooh,
for all his
actually,
boasting.
Christian is beating you by 4, JD, but that goes back to the first week, and I don't really know how you managed to do this. It's pretty
It's
impressive.
because I had
You
one
go 0-6
really.
the
I
first-
know. I went 0-6 the first week.
0-6.
That was tough.
All I need is one good week, and I think this is going to be my week. The challenge is, will Ben do the thing where he just picks my picks in order?
I'm up by 7, Christian, on you.
That's not that bad. 7?
But Christian,
With a
don't you remember?
with a 3-point takedown, that's nothing.
It was me, you, and
Good
Ollie
point.
last week, and I told you how your last 2 picks, Ramos versus Caleb Smith and Pitzer versus Schultz, you were on tilt. You made the wrong pick just to go opposite of me.
Yeah.
And you're so lucky that those matches did not go to completion because you would have lost 2 more.
You're right.
Well, we don't know that. You could be lucky, Ben.
You're lucky.
You could be lucky.
Stop.
You're
Did you
talking
watch
like
Friday night?
That's why we watch the matches, and that's why we wrestle the matches. 'cause
That's
we don't
why
know what's going to happen.
We don't include those in rankings.
Yeah, exactly. They don't even count.
Precisely.
Man, I know I was gone for a week. There's some great matches. I don't know if we want to talk about any of those. Ben, I didn't hear your perspective on the Drake Ramos match, and of course I want to talk about Mitchell Cam. That was a great performance by your guy.
Yeah, I mean, with Ramos, he got a clean takedown and was able to, Al was coming hard and he was able to fight a couple of those third period takedowns off. I think it's probably a close match every single time. I was most impressed last weekend, and I think I maybe even text you, but the ascendance of Patrick McKee, he's back to form, baby. He smashed Caleb Smith.
Wow.
So I'm excited to see him now moving forward.
Is that really? So you really think that? You think that one match, and now you're like Pat McKee is back, and he's that guy? Oh, I lost Ben.
I did too.
I can't hear Ben anymore.
You know, sometimes that's what it takes. You're just coming back and you're not quite to form, and then something clicks, and all of a sudden, boom, you hit peak form. Because no one going into this year would have thought Patrick McKee was a 20 type ranked guy. He's never been that in his whole career. So, it makes sense that he had the surgery, he's coming back, and he's feeling healthy now, and he's going to probably start wrestling a little bit. I mean, we'll still probably have Space Mountain once in a while, but probably overall better.
That's what I'm saying. I felt like the Smith match just got out of control immediately, and there was just no. I mean, he got double-legged
So deep that it almost worked to his detriment.
I literally thought, I was like, wow, Caleb Smith is getting killed, and he might just pin him with this double leg. And then he Pat McKee does this. He kind of like little leagued his way out of it. It's like, boom, just like kicked him up, and then he ends up on top. It was a crazy performance. Here's what I'll say about Pat. I think he's in the mix to do this, finish as high as he wants, but I'm not going to go all in on this match and say, all right, new Pat McKee. I'm just not there. But,
okay. Well, he's got Dean Peterson this weekend.
Yes.
And then we went through his schedule. He's got a bunch of tough dudes coming up.
Yeah. So I'm excited for him. And then Mitchell, great performance by him. I mean, I think the question has been, can he contend for a title? And we didn't see him against many ranked guys, and then he just bonuses a guy that's never been bonused in his career, who almost got disqualified. What was y'all's perspective on the stall calls? Appropriate?
So appropriate.
Yeah, I kind of thought so too.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that it could honestly could even been worse, but the one thing Amin is really good at circling off the edge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he is very tricky there. And so honestly, if he didn't have that skill down pat, it could have been worse.
Yeah, I wonder if Mitchell does get a DQ in his career at some point for stalling, because his pressure is it's insane. It's insane.
That's one of the slept on most exciting things in wrestling is the stall out.
Yeah.
You see it coming, you see a guy fading, one guy's just keeping the pressure up, the stallings are coming, you see him trying to hold on, and that last stall call when it's up in the air, it's electric.
See, Ollie, knowing your style, if you don't know, you can't tell looking at Ollie, but he is a former heavyweight.
Yes.
And he's not the prototypical. More of a hand fighter, grinder.
Yes.
But undersized. So normally that's kind of like the big heavyweight move, but he was the grinding small heavyweight. So did you ever get a DQ during the Long Island days?
Not a DQ. It would be because although I am a grinder, I'm smart with my own energy.
Okay.
And heavyweights, there's not an unlimited amount at that time. There's a lot of body moving around that you have to get going. So, no, not quite. But I did get a lot of advantageous stall calls, and what I was amazing at, the takedown on the edge of the mat.
Really?
Yes, very good at it. The only space I'm really shooting, because I have a bailout in case that big man goes on top of me.
Oh.
But would get the takedowns often.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
There you go. A little wrestling breakdown from Ollie. Okay.
Hey, speaking on last week, I do owe an apology. I said there was no reaction time for locked hands, but that is only in like normal top and bottom, not when somebody's getting returned to the mat. When it's a return situation, there is reaction time.
Okay.
Classic rookie mistake.
Correction on my
I
part.
still think that was kind of locked hands. I wish we would get the other view, which it was crazy.
Oh my
the other
gosh.
ref had the great view.
The Haynes Saldate match?
Yes, Haynes
that
Saldate,
that was the craziest match of the year by far.
Yes.
Everything about it was insane, and the commentary made it so much better because there's like all
my
this
God,
chaos,
stop.
and then they have no
Stop.
idea.
You guys should just hire them for duels, and they won't even know that you're joking on them.
Well, you have like they do that in like other sports. You've got like the Manning cast or whatever, where it's a little less professional. One more time, we just get those guys. I literally would listen to it, and I think others would too, and then others would not, and maybe they'd listen to us. But no, that match was crazy. So you thought Saldate should have won, Ben?
I sure thought it was locking hands. I would like to have seen a camera view from the other side, which we didn't. But what I said was he had a body lock on him, And so I was watching for when his bottom arm pulled out, like separated from the body lock. And it doesn't appear to do that very quickly, which makes me think they were locked, but I can't see. And then the other referee calling it immediately and being so sure of it when he had the perfect view also made me feel that way. But I didn't get the perfect view, so I can't say for sure. That was just the way I felt.
Why would you think they'd overturn it then?
Kale's got some magic. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. We'll blame magic.
They're probably like, hey, you're not a butthole to us like most of the other coaches, so we're gonna give you the close ones.
Yeah, that is a thing. I think that helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then getting the reversal at the end. Should Saldate have just taken neutral there?
Wait. Because he would have lost some ride time.
Because Haynes
right?
took bottom. Haynes took bottom, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
bottom, yeah.
crazy match. Saldate's dangerous. Before we get into the weekend's picks, Roman versus Spencer.
That's all we're going to have time for since you guys got 74 of them.
Oh, quit crying. Quit crying, Ben. He's not funky, Ben. He's scared, Ben. He's
Well, you know what's going on, Ben.
I've won 8 weeks in a row. I'm going to win another week. It's just a matter of how much I'm going to win by.
They need more opportunity to catch you, Ben, and that's why they're doing it. They need help, and
Yes,
that's why they're doing it. So
Ollie acts like he's solving some mystery. That is obviously what we're doing.
I see what you guys are doing. I see what you guys are doing.
I only went a couple big ones, but I just wanted 3 duels, one each day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where I did all 10. There's only like 5 other picks. I just want a little action in every match that I'm watching that duel.
I unhighlighted a few of those, but
No, we're doing the highlighted ones too.
I'm okay with it.
All you have to do,
Get the
action. All you have to do, we don't have to break down in depth for 10
Actually
minutes.
think we can abide
each
by a
match.
20-second time limit, JD?
All we have to do is say, I think this guy wins by more than 5.5 points or whatever.
Listen, here's the thing. Item 1, they all count the same. So Benny Baker versus Peyton Mako is as important as Keegan O'Toole.
You got that right.
Keegan O'Toole. No!
That's gambling, baby. That's gambling, baby.
That's why I pushed back. I have to talk about Benny Baker.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have to talk about it. You just say, I think Peyton gets the major.
I don't
Boom.
know.
There you go. You move on.
How would I know?
Bro, I had some of
That's the point of gambling. That's what makes it fun.
No, I would not gamble if I didn't know.
Well, you have to. That's the show, baby. That's showbiz.
I had some of my assistant coaches over for the fights last weekend, and they were talking about like they kept gambling on a bunch of stuff, right? And I kind of got the notion after a little bit that they didn't know all that much about fighting, and so eventually they were betting on over/under on significant strikes, and I said, hey man, do you even know what a significant strike is? And he's like, no. So they were literally gambling on
stake
things
in the game
that they didn't know anything about. It was the most hilarious thing ever.
I'm just trying to watch this duel and have no pee break matches. I want to be invested.
All right. This is just it's just so JD doesn't urinate is why we have 56 picks this week.
Unlike Ben, I can hold it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ben has the most pathetic bladder in all of podcasting.
Well, the thing is, bladder holding is a
I peed
mindset.
right before the show.
It's a mindset, and Ben's weak mental.
Yeah, weak mentally in one area. Okay. But Pan Am entries came out, and normally Pan Am's is kind of like, all right, we just stunt on the entire Pan Am continent. But it's going to be a little different. We're going to have potentially Roman versus Spencer Lee. This is later in February, so we'll have more time to talk about it. But, man, thoughts on that matchup? Did you guys get to watch any of Roman's competition?
Hold on, Christian. I don't want to ruin your parade here, but you do know, right, that if they're on opposite sides, they both make the finals, they will not wrestle.
No, that's not true. This isn't the qualifier.
That is true.
No, that's for the qualifier, not the Pan Am Championships.
Yeah. So
Why is Spencer Lee not going to the qualifier?
He's not eligible.
he can't because he's not it has to be same. Yeah, so this is the Pan Am Championships. It's a little confusing. That's why I wanted to bring it up. This is not the Olympic qualifier. That is in that's in March.
Well, they're right after.
Aren't they close to each other though? I think
right
like
after.
there's similar time
Because the
periods.
idea is you just stay there. It's just the next couple days. Then it's the
Okay.
So 2 Pan Ams right in a row.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back to back.
Back-to-back Pan Ams, not the same Pan Am, but 2 Pan Ams.
So is Roman really going to do it? Both? Why would you?
In both? Are you wrestling in both?
Why?
Why both? Why book?
Why book?
Because
do
you
you
can
wrestle
improve
them
your seed by getting ranking points if you do championships. The
But
Pan
then
Am
he would have to
championships
make
is for
weight
ranking
twice.
series points. Correct.
He's not going to do this.
I kind of feel like you guys don't know.
Well, he's entered.
He's in.
He's entered.
He's entered,
Yeah.
He doesn't have to compete though.
but doesn't have to compete. This
Correct.
is confusing.
This is
Two
confusing.
Pan Ams.
Yeah. Think about making weight twice in a row that close.
There's no way. Now I'm
sucks.
sad.
Now,
Sad Radio Live.
do you have to? He did not
I'll
compete
look
at
it
World
up.
Championships, so does he have to compete? Does somebody from Mexico 57 have to compete / make weight to be able to compete at Olympics?
It's a great question.
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know.
All right, so the
'Cause
senior
that's
Pan
a thing for
Ams.
Worlds.
Senior Pan Ams is 21 through 24 of this month. Senior Pan Am Championships in Acapulco.
27th through
and
the
then
1st.
the Senior Pan Am Olympic Qualifier is the 28th through the 1st, also in Acapulco, Mexico. So there is a 4-day break in between the two.
Okay, so he could maybe do it.
It's pretty close still. Like
Yeah.
making weight twice in a week for sure.
You know what? I'll just ask him if he's doing both.
Okay.
I don't know if he'll tell me.
I feel obliged to do all the research for you guys now that you don't have a computer in front of you.
And
I got a computer. I could do research.
Yeah.
I'm a great researcher. What do you guys want to know about?
well, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure if he wrestles at Pan Am Championships and does well, he can get opposite Zayn because of the ranking series points for seeds. Meaning, then he wouldn't even have to wrestle Zayn to qualify.
Let's hope. We still don't know the Cuban that's going. I don't think we know a bunch about him. That would be another.
They've really fallen
not
off
sure if
though,
it
in the last
matters.
couple of years.
But you know what does
One
matter?
more.
Tobier is entered at 65. That's tough. And Destrabats, the man who ruined it all
Solid.
4 years ago. So 65, not going to be a picnic to qualify.
I see Destrabats becoming a factor again. Something about
No way.
that guy. I'm telling you.
No.
I'm scared of it. I'm
No.
telling you. We didn't think of it. We didn't think it was going to happen the first time.
I know.
Just
Because
saying.
it's because he spent a week training with the Lopers.
Yeah, he did train with. So this is your fault. JD's alma mater is literally training the enemy to dethrone great Americans like Zane Rutherford.
Benedict
It
James.
was before
Dean.
that too.
It was before then.
It was 2019,
Oh my gosh.
summer of 2019.
Okay,
What a summer.
so that's that. A lot of great duels this weekend, of which JD is highlighted in these pick'ems. The three big ones we got: Iowa State versus Oklahoma State.
That's
huge.
Saturday.
Cornell versus Missouri.
That's Sunday.
That's very big. And the Friday is what?
Michigan, Ohio State.
Michigan, Ohio State. This is the rivalry that's not really a rivalry because they don't seem like they hate each other like they hate the other teams.
Yeah, I wish.
Who,
I want more
Michigan or Ohio
animosity.
State?
Yeah, I feel like they just kind of bro out a little bit. It's not as
Really?
It's not as tense as it should be. No.
They need to get like Jim Harbaugh and who's Ohio State's football coach now? Because the football teams still hate each other.
Luke Fickle, Dan, I don't know.
Day.
No, Luke Fickle's at Wisconsin, dude. Come on.
I don't know.
You know what? This
Urban
is
Meyer.
an opportunity for Ollie's researching.
Yeah, this is you can put
Let's
this
see
on
what I
your
got.
resume.
Ryan Day. I was right.
Come on.
Wow, I was way off.
Ryan Day.
Yeah.
Well, who's Luke Fickle?
He's a coach. for
Luke
another
Fickle's
team.
at Wisconsin. I just told you that.
Ben knows more about football than you.
No, I just know who's the Wisconsin coach, and he wrestled.
CP just thinks that Big Ten football coaches are interchangeable, and you could they're all the same.
No, I don't. I just don't know them. I don't think they're interchangeable. I just don't know that much about college football anymore. I know. Crying Tyler Meisinger is gonna be real sad because Jim Harbaugh just left Michigan. He's gonna
But he
be
went
so
to his
sad.
NFL team
Yeah,
because
but
he's an LA guy.
he could not name two San Diego or LA Chargers. There's
true.
there's no scenario where he could do that.
Well, he didn't know that a punter and a kicker had two different jobs on a football team.
Yeah,
Yeah, not a football guy.
he's not at all. I had to explain. I never forget, and y'all don't even, we're talking about Tyler, our video guy. He's a Michigan.
I thought you were talking about Jim Harbaugh for a second.
No, he knows a lot about football in actuality.
thought
But
you were
Tyler doesn't. I had to explain pass interference to him last year while Michigan was playing in the national semifinals. But he knows a lot about wrestling and videos. So
That's all he needs to know.
that's
all he needs to
That's
know.
the important thing. All right, so should we start? Start with these picks?
Well, we got a lot of
Gotta.
picks to get
Gotta.
to, so you might as well.
It's gonna be fun. And also, wait, did you do the thing I asked with the lines for the teams?
No.
You son of a gun! That's the best part.
Yeah, that was fun. We did that last year. That was fun.
Well, we can do it off the dome.
Yeah, make it
Hey,
up
Christian,
on
we're doing a
spot.
show. You got to get off your phone, bro.
No, bro. This is.
We're doing a show. You can't have your phone. Stop texting
I'm looking at
your
the
girlfriend or
pick'ems.
something.
I'm looking at the picks.
No, that I have to introduce them now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I can do it. I could be the host of the show right now.
The co-host.
I don't know if we trust Ollie.
All right, well, fine. Now I don't want to do it.
But who's gonna
Okay?
Who's gonna record? Who's gonna record the picks? That's the hard one.
That's a great point.
Not me. You just volunteer. You're
JD's
Mr.
been
I know, it's more
all
work
the
for me now. I got to go back and listen to everything. Can't do it IRL, IRT.
All right, I could do it. I'm actually on the sheet. I'm gonna do it. Why are we doing Macron versus D'Agostino? Like, what
I
are we
think that's a
doing
good
here?
match. You don't think that's competitive?
It's like an all right match.
I think
It's competitive against the line.
yeah. And
Well,
Macron's,
theoretically, they all should
Macron is tough. And D'Agostino, what has D'Agostino done this year that gets us thinking he's a head and shoulders favorite against middle school Macron?
I didn't say it. I just said I wasn't interested in the match.
What is not? See how uppity
I have a prediction for this week.
Ben Askren? Yes.
Because Ben is complaining Ben right now.
Yes.
He's gonna lose. He's gonna lose his lead. Lose some standing. Maybe not
I
completely.
will not lose
but
my lead.
it's,
may not.
this is gonna be the downfall of Ben.
Yeah. This is the turning point.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, D'Agostino's been good this year. He has, he only has one real loss, and that's Braden Davis. He did have an injury default loss as well.
He was getting worked in that
but only-
match for what it's worth.
Yeah, but he knew Flo didn't count it, so he just said, I'm done here.
Okay. I've got Macron. Wait. Did we introduce the line? We didn't do the
but
line.
it's-
This is
I
off to a
will.
horrible
I'm
start.
about to do it. I said I offered it. You got D'Agostino minus 2.5.
I have Macron covering.
JD?
I'm going D'Agostino.
I'm gonna go D'Agostino.
Okay.
Although I did think about doing Ollie's strategy and just picking all of Christian's picks.
Yeah, do
Which
it.
would be funny.
Do it. It'd be good.
That'd be
All
nice
right,
to-
Ragusin, 4.5 versus Bouzakis. I already know I'm going Bouzakis. I don't think
Me
Ragusin's
too.
going to beat him that
Dang it.
bad.
I thought I would be opposite you on this one, Ben, because you're a known Bouzakis hater.
I'm realistic about his skill set.
Boozy
JD, what
Baby's
is your
kind of
pick?
back. Boozy Baby's kind of back.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for a little Boosie.
I kind of
We
like.
also gave him 4.5 points.
Yeah, 4.5 points is nice. I think this is a very live match. Because Dylan is kind of fearless upper body, and he could just go
Correct. Yes.
boom.
But so is Boozy. One set of back points really opens this
Well, that's
up.
what I'm saying. I think
That's what makes it nervous.
I think
Makes
Dylan
me
is going to
nervous.
engage in some areas where Nick is, I think, better. If he just keeps him at bay and just plays a leg attack game, I think Dylan can win pretty convincingly. But Bouzakis, he's kind of our. If you throw out all of 125, which I think is appropriate, I think he is our Space Mountain Wrestler of the Year.
He's
a
up
little bit of
there.
Space Mountain on him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so I
I'm
have
going Boozy,
Boozy covers. Okay.
but
We
I
all-
still
we
think
all have the
Gregson
same
wins by
result.
3 or 4.
I agree with that. All right, Mendez 4.5 points over Sergio Lemley minus 4.5.
That's honestly, if I'm Jesse Mendez, it's a little bulletin board material. I know Sergio has been tough this year. He's looked really good. He surpassed my expectations for what I thought he'd bring to the table
Same.
year one. So I'll start with that. But I have seen Jesse Mendez score a lot of points on a lot of guys this year. I throw out the matches that I don't want to consider, like Cole Matthews
Fair.
and Ryan Jack, and I think he did win by fall in that match. I think he wins by 5 or more here. I think this is if this was a 7.5, then I would have been thinking hard on it. But Sergio does not give up points easily. But regardless, I'm taking Jesse to cover.
I think Jesse covers 2. My only worry is prolonged finishes that just eat up clock and Jesse runs out of time. But
Yeah.
maybe he wins, 3 takedowns to none, but it takes him 35 seconds.
3 takedowns to none. He's winning by 4.5 points then.
Yeah. Dude, 3 takedowns is not. Yeah, he wins easily. He covers easily.
3-point takedown.
I think.
JD.
Yeah. Do you know there were 3
Yeah.
now?
But maybe Sergio gets a takedown.
That's
You said 3 to
1.
none.
yeah, you just said 3 to none.
It doesn't matter. If it's 3 takedowns to none and Sergio gets a takedown, then we've got something on
The
our
only thing I'm
hands.
saying is I just think Sergio is stingy. So I think Jesse might struggle to finish quickly, which could lead to, even though Jesse dominates the match, maybe he only wins by 4. But I still do think he's pushing for the major here because Jesse Mendez, dog.
So what are you doing?
All right.
Mendez.
Makes the easy
I
line,
agree
then he
with
picks
all
the
that
obvious
said.
line.
I think JD should have made the line a little bigger, and we would have split on this because I feel all the same things you guys felt, but 4.5 is not enough. For
Maybe
me
I'm
to go.
thinking too much on him taking down Bartlett and that one being close. I know Bartlett wrestles everybody close.
Because
so.
Bartlett has
Everybody.
been. He did this with Cornell too, and then Mendez killed Cornell. Remember that? Mm-hmm. You're falling into the Bartlett trap. Bartlett's a different you can't consider results against him as legitimately. That was kind of crazy that how close that match got. That Limley tied it in the 3rd. Mm-hmm. That was shocking. Okay, next match, 149. This is a good one.
Yes.
Austin Gomez.
All right, so we have. Oh, I thought I was reading the lines.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I don't know the lines. I was just saying names.
Gomez, 2.5 minus 2.5 against Dylan D'Amelio.
Oh man, this is a scary one. I'm taking the points with Dylan. I don't know why. I just think he's hard to score big on. I think he avoids the big moves against Austin. I think he's got a shot to win this match outright. I'm not dismissing that as an option. Gomez has looked good in the limited time we've seen him wrestle this year. I think he looks fine. I don't think there's any rust from not competing for a while. He looks good. So would have liked to have seen him against Kasich, but I've got D'Amelio covering.
Lock it in. All right, I have Gomez, and I will say that Gomez has looked good in the time we've seen him, and D'Amelio has a 10-point loss to Kyle Parko and a 1-point loss to Bridge Levin and a loss to Kyle Henson. So I believe that Austin Gomez can, in fact, cover this line.
I'm going Gomez just because I was just in Michigan. Interviewed him, hung out with him a bit. That's
Enough
it.
said. Enough said. You dug his vibes.
Yep.
There you go.
Enough said. All right, Will Lewan, a 2.5-point favorite over
my
Isaac
gosh.
Wilcox.
This is one I could do without this.
All right, Skip.
No. You got to be invested to this Will Luan match.
I don't give a rip.
Well, that's a good point.
I don't want
That's
to
a
be
good point.
invested.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Some
No.
things you don't want to invest in, like Dogecoin.
No.
No way.
Yes.
I made a lot of money off of Dogecoin. All right, I got a brand new fitted hat because of my Dogecoin profits. It was like $40. But I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Continue.
you were
Dogecoin
just-
really messed me up. You thought of my investment
Luan. Give me
opportunities.
Luan.
I sold.
We don't want to be
too.
invested in Will Lewan matches. Let me tell you guys, Gomez D'Amelio was probably a lot of fun. We probably had some fun. This is actually the perfect pee break, JD.
No, then you got a 20-minute break because you got intermission right after.
That's a great break. You can make yourself a sandwich. You can go do some things. Get some laundry done, JD. You can make it happen.
Okay. Man, I think I wrote down who I think. 2.5. That's a lot of points for Will Lewan.
You're right. Switch up.
I agree.
I'll take Wilcox.
Wilcox. I'm switching.
Agreed. I felt the exact same way.
I think it's like
If you had made it 1.5, it would have been. I would have had to think real hard about it.
yeah.
All right, Chamamine, 1.5 favorite over Bryce Hepner. Bryce Hepner has beat Chamamine before.
True.
Chamamine has not looked great as of late. He went to overtime, lost to Mitchell, and lost to Caleb Fish. So, who are you guys picking?
I'm still going to mean.
Yeah.
Takedown in overtime could do it for him. So
Man, we should have an overtime clause.
No.
Because if you're tied at the end of regular, yeah, we should. Yes, we should.
I vote against it.
No, there's no overtime clause. That's part of.
You guys are idiots.
Ben's brain can't comprehend
Yeah. No,
'Cause
that's
it's
not
not
how it
fair.
works.
Because it's not an accurate representation of what actually is happening.
that's showbiz, baby.
That's gambling. In football, the spread could be 3. You could go into overtime, lose by a touchdown, and then
Yeah.
boom, you don't get to do it. That's what
Yeah.
happens. That's gambling, baby.
They should have something like, what is the score at the end of regulation? Because that would be
If
an
we did
actual,
that, then we
you
could
know.
do that.
fair representation.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's change gambling for Ben Askren because he doesn't know how to make the picks.
I mean, you just want to add uncertainty to it. All right, JD, who'd you pick? Amin?
I'll take
Christian?
I'll take Amin. I haven't been. I was really high on Hebner coming into the year. Still think there's some potential there, but we haven't seen it come to fruition at this point. Cam's got to get it back. He's got to be fired up for this match too. After the weekend he had.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same way. All right, Rocco Welch versus Shane Griffith. Griffith, the 2.5-point favorite. I will say, I'll do pick first. Griffith has not looked great.
Mm-hmm.
Rocco Welch has been pretty tough. I think Griffith finds a way to get it done, but it's a 1 or 2 point win. So I go Rocco Welch covering the spread.
Yeah, I think this is a real upset potential match. I think Rocco could win this outright. And I think if that happens, I should get an extra bonus point for that, for having said that, even though that's not how we do it.
No.
I think I'll take that point, though. But no, I got.
You have to predict it for it to happen. You can't say it could happen. I should get an extra bonus point.
I just
you
said
have to
it-
say it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I said it could
Coward.
happen. I think that's good enough.
But yeah, it could happen.
There's a possibility.
I've got Rocco.
There is a possibility.
Give me Rocco.
I'll go Shane.
Oh my gosh.
Shane
he's
wrestles to his
just-
competition.
That's just because he was just in Michigan.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh. He's gonna
All right. Jaden Bullock versus Seth Shoemate.
get out of here. Get out of here with this.
What
stuff.
happened? What am I missing?
This match. Why are we doing this match? It's ridiculous.
I told you. So you got skin in
Jay, that's
every
what
match.
I tried telling you guys this last night.
I'm with you. All right. What the heck? What's the line
All
on
right,
this?
deleted.
ridiculous
It's
match?
deleted. All right.
You are
Luke Gian,
cowards.
Bobby Strigo, deleted also. Nick Feldman
We're losing
versus
picks by the moment, right?
I love it.
Davison. Davison, 4.5 point favorite over Nick Feldman. What do you guys
This is
say?
easy. Feldman. Easy.
Ooh, that is. I kind of feel the same way. I feel like Davison is the obvious winner of this match, but it's not 5 or more.
Yeah.
JD.
You already know who he's picking.
Go Feldman.
Oh wow.
I do think.
did
this
not
one-
hang out with Lucas
Oh,
Davison.
that's
and
what
it
happened.
I
He
did
did an
actually. I
interview.
did. I did do an interview.
Wow.
Not a fun hang. That's what this says.
I don't like
guess.
that. The one big guy you hang out with, you're not going to pick.
You're
That
really,
is-
you're really calling Lucas Davison a big guy. They
that's a
said
good
he
point.
actually has like the lowest body fat percentage of like anybody on the team.
Really?
Not mine.
Nah, I
Yep,
don't
no.
believe that. That's
bull
crap. No way.
Dude,
That's bull
How
crap.
they can, Michael DeAugustino can barely make 125. How is that? It's physiologically possible. Someone lied to
Lucas
you.
Davison is stacked. They said maybe. They said he's up there.
Maybe.
He's
Yeah,
got big
up there.
muscles, but he ain't the lowest body fat.
Off season, he might.
Off season. You guys aren't
No.
thinking off season.
This is ridiculous.
I'm with Ben. That's ridiculous. Okay. All right, we did that.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. I got
Here,
this.
Hold on.
Circus,
No, we need
we
to
have
do
an
this.
official line. We have an official line
Okay,
from Circus
For what?
Sports for the team.
perfect.
Ohio State is a 7.5 point underdog.
Wow, that much? Well, I'm taking Ohio State then, if we're going with that line.
I got Michigan covering that. Give me Michigan.
What? Are you kidding me?
I was just hanging
I'm
out-
gonna win an easy one on you.
I was just hanging out with them. They are just so cool. They're just like, it's just the vibes, Ben.
Without actually running through this, I'm going to go
me actually-
Ohio State to cover.
You should
Ohio
look
State
at it.
wins One.
See, Ben can't make a pick without actually like.
Oh,
through
dang.
it.
I actually don't have Ohio State winning barely any matches. Oh, crap.
Oh, now he's gonna go
That's
back.
going to be hard. But sometimes Michigan does this thing where they wrestle guys who aren't very good. So, there is the chance of that as well. They kind of put a lot of backups in, but
Do you
I'm
think they
going to
are?
change. I'm going to Michigan.
Oh wow! Listen to this. You were just.
Well, I started looking through it, and I said, okay, I think DeAugustino, I think Ragusin, I think Gomez, I think Luan, I think Amin, I think Griffith.
This
Oh,
is
geez.
This
I'm
is
in trouble.
reminiscent of Shane Sparks saying he would never in the history of wrestling be surprised if a 3-seed won. And then we said Liam Cronin, and he said that would surprise me. You just said, "Oh, Ohio State easy," and then you were like, "Oh wait, it matters who wins the matches." And now I think Michigan. That was just a quick little.
Oh, just zip it. I thought you were going to try to roast Shane Sparks. You guys did on social media about the 3-point takedown, which is hilarious.
That was the silent assassin Kyle Klingman put that one together.
I didn't
really?
see that coming.
Yeah, me either. I was just on vacation and I hit my feet and I did laugh. But Shane's a good sport.
Okay, wait. Before we continue on with the picks,
Okay.
little check-in from YouTube.
Oh, thank you.
And also apologies to anybody who's checking in on Facebook.
I'll check in on it now.
Okay, you check in on it because I just don't check in on Facebook. Facebook is
Tyler Meisinger's on face.
That's what I was
YouTube
going to say.
chat.
That's one of the check-ins.
Oh, no.
We have Tyler objecting to one of your statements, saying, I heard Christian was lying and say I don't know anything about football. He says, I do in fact know some things. I will make the determination. No, Tyler, you don't know anything about football. So, also, something more pertinent to the show, they've noticed something, and this may have something to do with Ben Askren's pick lead. Some people are in the chat, specifically Derek Billman, says, why don't we rotate each pick? Feels like Piles goes first all the time. Ben never goes first. So he's getting the opportunity of seeing all your wrong picks. He knows to pick the opposite of CP because CP always picks the wrong thing. So we're going to have to start switching that up, make it more of an even playing field. As the commissioner of the FRL Picks League that is self-appointed, I say we switch the order now.
All right. I definitely went first on a few of those, but whatever Derek says.
also
Well,
deleted
I think
some
this one's
coward.
easy. Edmund Ruth versus Patrick Kennedy. I'm going Edmund Ruth. It's a pick 'em. I feel like we should win some points, but JD made the line.
I felt the exact same. I thought Kennedy should be getting points there. I think Edmund Ruth's a favorite, probably 2.5 point favorite. Then I'm thinking it over, but I've got Ruth winning this outright. I think he is a lot at 174. He's big, strong, and I don't think Kennedy's
Pretty good mat wrestler.
Yeah, he's good on the mat. I think it's a tough matchup for Kennedy.
I'm going to Ruth
All
as
right.
well.
Ruth. Everyone's going Ruth.
Hey,
All right, next matchup.
Hold on. Circus Sports Iowa, 19-point favorite.
I don't know this.
Nope, do it, coward.
No, I'm
I'm
not
going
doing
Iowa.
that.
Pick right now.
Iowa.
3, 2, 1, go.
Iowa.
By 19?
Probably Iowa.
Yeah,
Probably Iowa.
I'm taking Iowa. Illinois is going to be tough next year, but this year they're having to take it on the chin a little bit.
Yes.
Which is why I don't think they're going to wrestle Cannon Webster. That's one of the more pressing redshirt questions for this year.
Because this would be his last one, right?
I think he might have used them all. I'm not sure.
Really?
I'm not sure that
This probably isn't the one you want to use, too, because it would be real.
he's a 49.
No, he's 49.
Oh, yeah, you're right, you're right.
So I don't know. I don't know what they'll do with Cannon. I think when you're redshirting the Bronagles and Lucas Bird, and they've got a couple other tough kids in redshirt, I think makes sense not to use him this year. And like he's good, but not like established. He's not a surefire AA. I think he's fringe AA. Good, he could place, but I think get another year, and then he'll be ready to rock.
And also 49 kind of clears just a little bit after this year where there'll be, I don't want to say easier, but it should be easier for him to place there.
Who are the big guys that are graduating?
I was trying to find the rankings now, so I kind of go through them. But Gomez was the one I was thinking of. I believe, is Ridge done? I was kind of thinking he was. I got to look. He is not.
He's got 2 years.
Actually, Parko's not done? I lied. None of these dudes are done. Gomez, D'Amelio, and that's it. I actually thought Parker was a senior, and I thought Ridge was a senior.
Van Ness comes back.
Is Parker really not a senior? He feels so old.
Well, I think his first year was
Never
the
know.
2021 year. Remember, he played. He wasn't starting most of the year, and then he ended up being the guy for Fresno State, and then he placed really.
This is his
super
fifth
randomly.
year. Yeah, this is his 5th year, but he did redshirt. And dude, he might have 2 years left
Let's
because
go.
he redshirted 2020 and 2021 didn't count.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
so now he's got
eligibility
one
isn't
left,
real once COVID
He does-
happened.
he
It's
does
just, people can do whatever they want.
Yeah, Gomez has 3 years left. That'll be cool.
All right, back to the picks. Parker Keckeisen, Dustin Plott. You guys got Keckeisen a 3.5 point favorite.
That's tough. I think it's a really good line. I did some careful analysis that I'm looking up and trying to remember. I have Plot covering.
Plot's been tough this year.
He's tough.
Yeah.
Anyone else? coming in?
I actually, Yeah, I actually feel the same way as you guys. I think it's going to be tough for Parker to cover this line. I hope he does. I think he's going to win, but Plot wrestles hard. He's good at getting off bottom. I'm going to go Parker by 3 points.
Dang. I kind of wish I took it, but I'm not. I'm not going back on my pick. I feel good about it.
I thought I might trap Ben into that one, but because I'm going Plot.
You're trying to trap
as well.
me. Let's go 2.5. If you go 2.5, I'll pick Parker.
No. We're not moving the lines.
You could buy half a point.
Well, why not?
You
Let's
could buy
have some
half
fun
a point.
here.
You can buy half a point. You just have to Venmo me $20.
That is a real thing.
Yeah.
You can buy points.
You just get worse odds.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Hey,
Steve
Northern
O'Pool.
Iowa, Oklahoma State team line from Circus Sports.
All
Oklahoma
right.
State
Get off
14
Circus
point.
Sports, JD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're giving them a lot of free plugs right
Hold
now.
on. And also, I looked at all the picks in all the duels, and those are the ones I did the breakdown. I don't know who's wrestling 125 for all these teams, these matchups. Just to
You should
we're
know off the
not
top of your
holding it-
head,
No.
wrestling expert.
No.
Yeah,
Yes,
wrestling
Chris, you
expert
should have
CP.
every roster memorized.
No. I know someone who made that claim once who used to work here. Okay, let's keep going.
I'll say Oklahoma State covers.
Do you know this story, Ben?
Yes, I before being on the show, I was an avid listener of the show. I listened almost every time, and that was the most absurd thing ever.
Yeah. Then we named like 3 Oklahoma State guys. He had no idea. All right, we'll keep going.
Hey, the other match in this duel that I thought was fun that you did not put on here, JD, which is significantly better than some of the other matches, is Tegan Jameson and
Yes.
Kale Happel. I thought that was going to be a good match.
That is a tight match. I think this is probably a pick'em territory.
I would lean Jameson.
I don't know. Who did he just lost last week, right?
He just lost, yes.
I would probably take
So
Kale.
you're correct.
I think Kale's. It's a toss-up match in my mind. This is a tough weekend for the Cowboys. They've got frickin' UNI and Iowa State.
Duels in Iowa.
It'll be really fun.
He lost to Cleveland Belton.
Yeah. So I would take Kale just based on recency. I don't know. Kale's a little more seasoned.
Yes, I agree. All right, next match, Jory Volk. Steve O'Poolin, I will go first. I'm going Jory Volk.
Me too. I've really been impressed with how he's looked this year. Steve-O's been up and down. He had some nice wins, but he's had some L's as well.
Volk has the bigger wins, but I think he has some odd losses too.
They've split
Yes.
historically. Does Volk have odd losses? I feel like
Not necessarily odd, but he has like 5 losses.
Noah
this year.
Certain, baby.
certain could very well win a national title this year for all I know. What are his losses? Could you name them? Ben?
I'm going there. You got it. Jory Volk has lost 2. Drake Ayala 4-2 at the Soldier Salute. Noah Certain overtime. Nico Provo 8-1, and then Brandon Kaler. So all those guys are tough. Although Nico Provo has he's had a rough go 'cause he's lost kind of a bunch.
All those losses have either been ranked number 1 in America or are former All-Americans. So I will not call these losses weird.
Well, the thing is with 125, like almost everybody's been ranked first. So
Not as many as you'd think.
a good amount.
You know what? That would be an interesting stat. What weight class of all weight classes historically has had the most people ranked number 1 over the course of one season?
It feels like it's going to be this one as long as
It might already. It might already be 125.
Can you guys think of a year in the past that would rival?
2013-14 was totally insane with not
Which weight class?
Well, I guess this question is about weight classes, but that was a year where like
Yes.
every number 1 just kept losing in like so many different weight classes. Like Logan Stieber lost, Kendrick Maple lost early to like Bryce Bustler.
Yes.
Every heavyweight lost. Like Tony Nelson was the returning champion, and then Adam Kuhn ended up being number 1. Mike McMullen, they all beat each other. Bobby Telford beat Tony Nelson. Nick Wisdowski wins it. Adam Kuhn beat Gwiz. That was one of the most topsy-turvy weights. Mike McClure.
This has got to be. I mean, Stanich, Ramos, Ayala, Nico Provo, Noto, at least those 5. Maybe Figueroa.
Ramos has been number 1.
Was
So
Camacho
probably
one
5 or
for a
6?
week?
Jacob Camacho was number 1.
Yeah, see?
Joe was 1 for a week.
I don't think there's ever been a
Oh my
weight
gosh,
where that
Kamato's
many dudes have been ranked
23
number
now.
one. You might have a weight where like 3 or 4 have been ranked number one, and that's
Yeah.
like
Out there.
topsy-turvy.
Crazy.
Like you were just saying with heavyweight, but that was
7?
still just 4 dudes.
All right, here's what I want. Let's remember this moment. Going into NCAAs, I want us to look at the number of number ones that have been ranked number ones, and I want us to pick how many of those former ranked number ones do not place at 125.
Wow.
Oh, it's going to be a
Interesting.
significant amount for sure.
Well, we'll see about that, Ben. They were number one in America. All right, that'll be fun. All right, what are we doing now? Jory? Are we Jory's across the board?
Jory's.
I don't think. Okay, you picked Jory. I didn't.
All right.
Oh my goodness
I know.
gracious! All right, so now we are going to the Iowa State Oklahoma State duel. I'm kind of on. You know what? You guys need to raise my pay right now, Christian, because I am recording the picks. I'm doing all the research. You guys are just sitting there in lounge chairs, la 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 la, drinking coffee. You know, Instagramming, texting your buddies. I'm the one doing all the work here.
Well, I mean, talent does talent things,
Yeah.
and the behind-the-scenes grunt workers do that. I mean,
Exactly.
world needs ditch diggers too, Ben.
Yeah, don't be. You're not above. It's.
Hey,
you should
but
be
this is the
proud.
pro of the new studio for me because I used to be grunt work.
Yeah.
Boy,
And you're
but
stepping
now,
up in the world.
now I got more room for activities up here.
Yeah.
I don't, no room for my laptop, but I can drop down in a splits and flip double birds right here on camera.
You got a fireplace.
I bet
got
you
a
cannot. I
fireplace.
bet you can't. I'm challenging you live on radio. You cannot do. You don't have to do the double birds, but you can't do. You can't do the splits.
Side split.
I can get pretty
You can do
low.
side splits
He's-
right now.
he's-
I've seen it.
No, do it. Prove it.
I can get pretty low.
It depends what type of pants he
No,
has
prove
on.
it. You're
Producers,
scared.
do you want to do it? All right. Hey,
Yeah,
he's
do
gonna
it.
try to do side splits right now.
I'm not gonna get all the way down, but neither did AJ.
Clear out
Yeah.
the room. Clear out the
Wow.
room.
Shots for. All right, here he goes.
I don't believe this. can happen.
Dang.
See?
Wait, that's not
pretty-
the
look at
side.
that.
That's not the side.
It's kind of the side.
It's, low,
It's a little side.
it's lower than I was anticipating. I did not see that.
Give the
one
man
coming.
credit.
That's right.
See this.
Suck it.
This the new studio is already paying for itself. We've got our first splits.
An FRL history.
Oh, he went double birds, but you didn't see it.
All right, there.
JD is Breaking Bad. This episode of FRL.
Well, behind the scenes, a lot of times I would come into our old place when we had a desk,
No pants.
just no pants, no shoes either. And now I actually have to kind of dress to the occasion a little bit.
I think
and
all-
wear a full wardrobe.
I think Ollie's mad because when I texted him about the show, he's like, "Oh yeah, I got my fit picked out." But he,
yeah.
hold on. And now he has to sit behind the desk, and no one can see his shoes. Which he's one of these guys
Oh,
that's like
man.
really excited about his shoes. If you do good the rest of the show, you can come here at the end and show off your shoes.
One, that's patronizing as hell, and I don't respond well to ultimatums like that, okay? That's for sure, all right? Because I'll get up out of this, I was going to do a GD.
Yeah.
I'll get out of this GD seat and go show the kicks right now
Gosh
and ruin
darn.
the whole show, but I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it. But yes, last night, I'm excited. I see the studio. I'm like, all right, they're going to see my full body. Got to get full body fresh. Normally, when I'm on the show with you guys, they don't know I don't have any pants on because
Yeah.
they don't see it. But this time, full outfit. And then I get
You get desked.
desked. I get desked again, which it's okay. I'll post it, the fit on the IG later for everybody who wants to see at Alizi.
Okay. Well, there we go. That was a brief little commercial break for Ollie's shoes and Instagram, and we'll get back to the picks.
Oh my god, you guys crack me up.
It's Oklahoma
All
State,
right,
Iowa
we
State.
will get back to the picks. There's no way we're getting through all of them because listen.
What time is it?
I told you, JD. I told you this. We need to get the most important ones because we've been doing the picks for like 30 minutes and we're not even close to halfway.
Well, that's because you complain about every one instead of just being like this guy by 3. Boom, next go.
Fair point.
All right.
And I said that. I
Apparently,
said that
4.5
last night
point.
when you said that's way too many. I said, don't waste time on these.
All right, Ollie, you can't talk anymore.
That's valid. That's valid. No, you got a point. That's valid.
Spratly minus 4.5 over Terraquina.
I got Terraquina covering that. That's a lot of points. Troy,
Yes.
I like Troy a lot, and I would pick him to win this match, but I think it's a lot of points. But I think JD just did this so he could say the Cyclones' name while not picking him to win. JD, pick Terraquina right now.
Terraquina.
I knew it. I'm a mind reader. Okay, what's 133?
I don't know. Terraquina.
I
he's
think
not
JD
great.
should get pay docked every time we all make the same pick.
That's a great idea. Yeah, we should dock his pay.
Yeah.
We should make him.
I think your pay should be docked every time you cancel out a pick.
Oh wow! So now none of
No,
us.
that should be a bonus. That should be a bonus.
Yeah.
All right, Evan Frost, Dayton Fix, minus 7.5.
Dayton's gonna get this. I think he's gonna
Yes,
get this
I
major.
agree.
I think it's. If he had said 8.5, I'd be nervous because it's like, well, then it's a different game. But I think he gets the major.
Now JD's not going to pick the same as you guys because he doesn't want to get paid down.
No, he's gonna pick Dayton.
Frost, what do you want?
Dayton's
I'm
the,
going to go Dayton.
Yeah, yeah.
Doc.
Dayton for major.
Dayton's the pick.
All right. I thought this was not a great line either. Etchemendia taking Jameson. Etchemendia minus 2.5. And they are ranked very similarly on Flow ranking.
Give me Etchemendia to cover.
Oh, I didn't think that was the angle you were gonna take it, Ben. I kind of like Etchemendia, dude. If he has a neutral advantage, he
He can widen the
kill
gap.
you. I think he wins this by 3 or more. I think it's a 3
Why
takedowns.
is Etchemendia ranked so low then?
He lost to Cale Happel
Happel.
on the backside at CKLV.
And he was sad, and no one.
Backside.
And Kozak doesn't even care that he was sad during that match. Ridiculous.
Oh.
So who are you gonna pick? You sound
Yeah.
like you want tagging.
Well, I did sound like that, and now you guys got me looking at his wrestle stat, and he has not won any matches that were less than 4-point wins.
See?
So now I think I got to pick Etchemendia.
Oh my gosh! How many times you could do this show? Wishy-washy.
Well, I didn't
Ben.
switch. I went. Listen, I did my research. This is why I win because you guys just go by the seat of your payouts. I go to the wrestle stat and I say, "Wow, he actually kind of. If he wins, he smashes."
Yes, that's why. But here's the thing, Ben. I just knew that innately from watching, and you're at the, look it all up. Use the internet.
All right.
It's a
I will
mine's
not
a,
apologize for doing my job properly.
Ben's going to be toast
All right,
once this
so
internet
Swiderski,
fad is over.
yeah, you are. That's coming.
Ben Campbell's like
Ben and Keith Gothard probably both think the internet won't be a thing eventually, and then we'll all just be, living off grid.
Ben Gothard.
What's
Go
Keith
back to
Gothard up
caveman
to?
stuff.
Keith Gothard's in here. I saw his one comment. I'm not gonna read it because Ollie's feelings are gonna be hurt.
Whoa, what are you gonna? It's all right. I got tough skin.
He
He's
said
mean to Ali.
Ollie's giving me a headache. Well,
I do that.
Oh man, we were actually gonna invite Keith to episode 1000, and now we can't.
Well, yeah, it's just fate on sight. Me and Keith getting in a fight.
yeah,
He's a big dude.
he's big.
He's got a big Ali. I don't know if you want that smoke.
I'm used to handling heavyweights.
Yeah. All right.
All right, next pick.
I almost made another.
Swiderski minus 3.5.
Swiderski against Sammy Alvarez, the opponent.
Sammy Alvarez. It could be anybody though, because Oklahoma State has wrestled a few people at that weight class.
And Dressers said Swiderski is planning to be back, but they're taking Redding on this Oklahoma trip as well. So don't be surprised if you see either guy. But if Swiderski wrestles, I think he covers.
I got Alvarez. He is hard to score on. He really looked good this weekend, in my opinion, or the last weekend when I watched him.
I think he's earned he's cemented himself as the guy for Oklahoma State at 49.
Yeah, he could. I won't say he cemented it because I think.
Yeah, maybe not cemented, but
He's
he
in
has
the lead.
proven, yes, that he's going to be their guy in duels moving forward until a wrestle off type situation because he did lose to Carter Young, like week 1 or 2.
I know.
Which is why they weren't. They were going with Jordan Williams in the first semester in duels.
Got a lot of talent there at that weight. Jordan Williams was a beast in high school. Sammy Alvarez has always been this guy we've thought has a lot of potential. It's not been realized to the fullest extent, but now we can maybe see it. And this is a big opportunity for him against Swiderski. So I have Sammy covering this. He does not get scored on easily.
JD, what do you got?
Swiderski.
I'll go Swiderski.
Okay. No.
All
I don't know if I should be
right.
excited or nervous.
Cody Chittum, 3.5-point favorite over Teague Travis.
Teague is tough, but if Chittum is there and wrestling well, like peak Chittum, I got Chittum covering.
Teague has been tough. Big wins this year. I'll take Teague to cover this, not win.
All right, I am Teague's won what 7 in a row now? 1, 2, 3,
Didn't he just beat
4,
Ed
5,
Ed
6.
Scott?
He beat
too?
Ed Scott a couple weeks ago.
Beat Ed Scott. Yeah. He did lose to Jordan Williams but that was when he's down at 49. So he's actually undefeated at 157.
Yeah.
You guys know Teague Travis's dad was my chiropractor while I was in Columbia, Missouri, right?
Really?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Brooks Travis. He's got a mean headlock. He actually pinned his way through the Kansas State tournament in the whole first period.
Dang, you could never do that.
Well,
Especially
because I
now-
didn't live in Kansas, of course.
Yeah. Excuses.
Yeah. I will pick Teague as well.
Dang.
Wait, JD, did you pick Travis? No, you
I
picked
went
Chittum.
Let's go, Cody.
You went
Let's go,
Chittum.
Cody.
Okay. There's no way we're getting through these picks. This is
It's,
all right.
Hey,
I
You
will
can
go
do it.
first
You're
on this
almost
one.
there.
the show goes till 10, by the way.
No, we're not. We're not almost there. We're not almost there at all. Isaac Olejnik versus David Carr. Carr 2.5. I'm going to say Carr wins, but by 1 or 2, I'm going to go Isaac Olejnik. He's very hard to score on, and I think he can keep it close.
That's a lot of respect. I think Carr covers this. I think Carr, I don't think he gets ridden, right? No one really rides him. So that eliminates one of Olejnik's biggest weapons. It's actually Olenek. I always forget to say it right. And I think a one takedown advantage, if they trade escapes, then he covers, right? So I've got David.
It feels like a 2-point win for David to me, but I'll go Carr to cover. Because I feel like it's more likely that it's by 3 or 4.
Think about this.
Then
I'm
one or
pleading
two.
the next.
Here's let's give
There's
a little,
way more numbers higher than 2.5 than there are below 2.5.
It's a good point.
Here's
If
the
David
thing.
wins.
Analytics.
I want to.
Analytics.
All right. Never mind. Just keep moving.
Go ahead.
All right.
right.
All I was gonna say is
All right,
Guy Todd
174.
versus Thompson. Can we delete this one?
we have to delete that one. But here's the
Delete
thing
it.
with David Carr. How many times did Dean Hamady get to Olenik's legs in that All-Star match? 7, 8, 9. He's not going to have that trouble finishing that Hamady did. He's going to be able to put
He's
one
a
or two
better
of those
finisher,
down.
for
He's a
sure.
much better finisher. He finished consistently on Keegan O'Toole in 2 straight matches. Like,
Well, let's not just start talking crazy over here, Christian Piles.
how would you describe it? Did he not finish? He didn't finish.
He
in
finished a
exchange.
couple times.
Finished a couple times. I think
And some adjustments were made.
he can finish a couple times on Isaac Olenek as well. I'm putting Isaac Olenek in the Keegan O'Toole strata. How's that?
You just stop right now. All right, we deleted 174. 184, Will Feldkamp, Dustin Plott. Plott, 4.5-point favorite. I'll say Feldkamp. He's tough to score on. This won't be a close one. I'll say Plott wins, but by less than 4.
That's what I have to a T. I've got
Okay.
Feldkamp covering.
JD.
I'll go Plot.
Really?
I've been really
Because
impressed with
otherwise
Plot this year.
he gets a pay reduction.
Yeah. Pay reduced again.
All right, Broderson, Serbert, delete.
Delete.
All right, Bastida versus Doucette. Bastida, 3.5-point favorite. I think that Bastida's been having a great year. Doucette's been really tough, though, and I do not think Bastida could beat him by 4 or more.
Yep. Easy one for me. Doucette covers this. I feel great about this pick. I'm irritated that you feel similarly, Ben.
JD, what do you want?
I thought that was a decent line. I don't feel great. I thought Bastida can open some scores up. I'll go do set to cover though.
There we go.
Okay.
There it is.
Hey, what does Circus Sports say about this team line? Because
They don't have one for
probably
this.
for me. What? This is a way better duel than
Ridiculous.
Oklahoma State UNI.
What is this? Some kind of circus?
What
They
is
have
it
Iowa
doing?
State, Oklahoma, but not Iowa State, Oklahoma State.
That's crazy. They probably think
Weird.
that Oklahoma is Oklahoma State. That's possible. Let's say
Definitely possible.
Oklahoma State 5.5-point favorite. How's that sound?
Sounds about right. So
I think I would go
then
Iowa
you get
State.
1.
Without going weight by weight.
I'll take Oklahoma State to cover 5.5.
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that money. So you said Oklahoma State minus 5.5, and I'll take Iowa State.
Cool.
JD, what'd you take?
Iowa State.
All right.
And no takebacks
I think
if
you kind of have to.
and no takebacks if because you know we could see different wrestlers if it's Redding, if it's whoever.
Yeah, of course.
All right, because I don't want any crying Ben Askren.
CP knows something.
That's you. Don't make me do it.
That's his way of saying somebody from Iowa State's not going to
Oh
wrestle.
no! Oh no! Don't do it, Ben. Oh my God!
Right
there
there.
it is.
Zoom in. Zoom
There
in.
it is.
The new studio can't zoom on my tears.
How did he get that? That is, if I saw you cry, I think that's what it would look like. They did a good job.
With my eyes closed.
Yeah, and you're like kind of pouting with your hands on your hips also.
Well, your hands are on your hips too.
Well, that's I'm flexing my shoulder muscles.
It's crazy that my arms are bigger than you in reality and in animation.
All right.
Okay.
Dean Peterson, Patrick McKee minus 1.5. I will go first. I will take Patrick McKee.
Yeah, I had no hesitation picking Pat to cover this. If he wins, he's likely to win big anyway, and I think he's better.
Yes.
Dean had a really weird loss. I can't remember who it was.
He lost to it was someone not good. He kind of like gassed out.
Yeah, so I've got him.
McKee.
Pat all the way.
All right, everyone.
Let's go,
Pay
Pat.
reduction for JD.
Did we get
All right. What?
JD's gonna be
What are you
owing
gonna
us. JD's gonna be owing us money at the end of the show. His pay's been reduced so much by Ben.
You know what would be a funny thing is like he's got to do push-ups on that table in front of you or something to the effect of where we could like shame
on this
him
tiny
live.
table.
Yeah, you have to figure it out to get your toes and your hands on there. No excuses.
No excuses.
Okay.
Clearly champion JD. All right, we're actually gonna do this because I deleted some picks. We got through that one quick. That's the best duel Saturday. This is the best duel Sunday. Mizzou versus Cornell. We are starting off. Noah Certain, Brett Unger. Noah Certain, a 2.5-point favorite.
I think I like Certain to cover this. Unger has not looked great recently. I still think he's tough, but Certain's a big point scorer. This is a good opportunity for Unger, honestly, to get back on. But Certain's been pretty consistent this year. I think his only losses to Flynn when he got body locked in overtime.
Yeah.
He tried.
Yes.
Anyways, and I'm gonna say something. It's like, but this is kind of what Noah does. Like it was
A little bit.
unnecessary risk that he didn't have to take. I felt in that match, but I don't think Unger presents necessarily those problems. I think Unger's really good on top, and I don't see Certain getting turned. So I've got Certain covering this.
Certain. Go Tigers.
All right. I'm going to pick Certain, but I'm a little nervous because he does keep it. Unger usually generally keeps it close. He doesn't really get blown out all that often. And, he has a lot of close wins also. So I think it's something where Certain could definitely win by a point or two. But I got to go with my Tigers. So I'll go Noah Certain, even though I think it's going to be close.
Certain did mixer him and pin him at Scuffle a couple years ago.
Oh, baby. Well,
Dang.
that's unfortunate because now he knows to watch out for it. All right.
He
Cade Moore
he
versus
mixed it him in the
Vito.
first and didn't get it, and then he hit it again and pinned him.
Was Unger in like high school then?
It was his red shirt year.
Okay, I thought.
Great shirt.
Okay, gotcha.
His Cornell Ivy League shirt
Yes,
year.
whatever you call that.
All right. Let's go.
33.
Cade Moore versus Vito. Do you want to delete this one?
Yes.
Okay, deleted.
Vito
All right,
is
Josh
back, by the
Edmond
way.
versus Vince Cornella.
Yeah, Vito is back. That's
We're
exciting.
excited about that.
I don't know what was going on, why he was out, what the injury was. Sounded mysterious in nature. But also in the Vito realm, Vito Flow Film, January 31st. That's what, like less than a week from now?
Next week.
Next Wednesday. It's going to be awesome. I've seen it. Many of you have you seen it, Ben?
I have not seen
Hey,
it. You guys don't share that type of stuff with me.
No, we will. Just make a nice little post about it, unless you hate it. In which case, keep it to yourself. We'll send you the link.
I'm sure I'll like it.
I told
But it's
Beta
full length. That's hard to watch all that.
feature length. That's right.
Can't pay attention for 90 minutes, Ben?
Wow.
No, I don't know if I'll have much time.
He doesn't know if he has an hour and a half.
Never
You know
know.
what? Fine.
Ben can't seem to do a full duel of picks. You think he can sit down for 90
Good point.
minutes?
Good point.
and watch something.
Very true.
We're gonna do this, JD. We're doing this. We're gonna get through all of them. I didn't think we were, but come on, let's keep it rolling because
Okay.
we get distracted. We're not gonna get there.
All
not
right.
gonna get to any questions. So Josh Edmond versus Vince Cornell. Cornell 1.5 point favorite.
What do you think, Ben?
I kind of think that's too close. I kind of want to go Cornell. Edmond has had a few losses which weren't great. I can't cite them offhand, but I'm gonna look them up for you.
yeah.
So I have my
Cornell's been a little rocky this year
Cornell.
too. A little more rocky than I expected coming into this season, but also go Cornell to cover.
Yeah, I've got Cornell also.
yeah. So Edmond lost to Cal Miller, Moshe Schwartz, and Tom Crook. They're all tough, but not great.
Cornell is
So we all went Cornell.
Crook.
Mm-hmm. All right. Logan Joffrey versus Ethan Fernandez. I think that's a delete.
Get it out of here. Beat it, nerd.
All right. Brock Mahler versus Meyer Shapiro.
This might be the match I'm looking forward to the most
Oh
this,
my gosh.
this weekend.
I agree. Should be fun.
What's gonna happen if
I'm gonna go.
I'm going Mahler.
Brock Mahler.
What?
Mahler.
Oh man, you know who I got. I got Meyer. He's got
Of course you do.
Brock's gonna go for one of those little go behinds. He's gonna go to the hip and boom. He's gonna catch him.
Peterson.
Myers.
I
gas
talked
tank
to
is
Coach Smith
concerning
this
too.
week. I talked to Coach Smith this week, and I said, "You've been watching some Meyer film because he's kind of tricky." And they said, "We got it on lock, baby."
Oh,
Uh-oh.
that gets me nervous. I don't know. Honestly, I think Mahler, in all gimmicks aside, I think Mahler is a really tough matchup for Meyer. I think he's really good positionally. He's tough to score on. He's strong. I don't know, but here's a point for Meyer, I think, is that I don't think Brock's going to drag him into deep waters. He's not that kind of wrestler.
He doesn't wrestle a hard pace.
He does not wrestle a hard pace. He's very sit back. And I don't know how that, how does that work for Meyer's style? I'm not sure. But I think one duel to focus, lock in. I think Meyer's good for a couple takedowns. And I'm not sure Brock is going to be able to come back. So I'm going with Meyer to win this. But it's going to be a great match.
This match goes into overtime. Brock, down block, go behind him.
He does have a nice go behind to his left. It's fast. That's why
Very quick.
He can get away with going to the hip. He's good. Okay. 65.
All right. Keegan O'Toole, Julian Ramirez. O'Toole 6.5. And I love Keegan O'Toole, but I thought that's a lot of points. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I thought the same. I think there's value with Julian. Obviously, Keegan O'Toole could bonus anyone in America, including Julian Ramirez, but I respect Julian enough that I think he keeps this 6 or less.
Keegan.
Ooh, no hesitation
All
from
right,
JD.
so-
That makes me
Great
feel
line,
better.
great line, JD. The people are talking.
They wrestled
really?
at you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this, Christian. They wrestled at the
juniors.
UWW Juniors, and Keegan put it on him. And I know Keegan wants to.
He's going for that Hodge,
get
baby.
all bonus. He's going for the Hodge, so he's gonna push hard. So I'm gonna go Keegan O'Toole. Does cover, even though it's a little bit scary.
Dang.
You're locked in. Can't change.
Yeah, can't change.
I would not change because of a result at UWW Juniors. Okay, that's
All right,
that's
Peyton
my
Mako,
commitment to
Benny
you.
Baker.
No. This is my number
right,
one
delete.
deleted.
All right, here's a good one. Clayton Whiting versus Chris
This is
Foca.
a really good
1.5 point.
I'm picking Foca.
Foca.
But-
Foca as well.
I think Whiting, he has the. So both these guys can really scramble and are very competent in the scrambles, and I think that eliminates. On the one hand, you could say, well, maybe does that take away some of Foca's opportunity to win or his advantage? But I think it more or less eliminates the percentage chance of an upset. So I don't feel super confident. I think it's really competitive, but I've got Foca.
All right, I'm going Clayton.
Ooh,
Foca.
Oh yeah, Foca.
all right.
All right, Whiting, Foca. All right, Elam versus Cardenas, 2.5 point favorite. After watching Cardenas versus
Beard.
Michael Beard, I gotta go Rocky Elam.
Me
Elam.
too.
Yep.
This was easy for me. I don't know what line I would probably 5.5, 6.5, and then I'm thinking hard. But I think a one takedown advantage for Rocky is that makes a lot of sense. I think Rocky wins this pretty convincingly.
Last one on this duel would be Zach Elam versus Luis Fernandez, 5.5-point favorite for Zach Elam. I'll go first again. Elam's been having a great year, 15-0, but it seems like a lot of points over a tough dude. I don't think he covers. That's a lot of points.
I feel the same, sadly. I got Fernandez covering this.
I think if Elam knew he really needed to push for a major, then maybe it's a little more interesting. But I think at this point, Missouri has the duel locked up. So Elam maybe a little bit more conservative, just goes for the win and wins, but does not cover.
I think for this duel, 25 and 41 are huge for the winners. I feel like Cornell needs...
Not 57?
57's big, obviously, but I think 25 and 41... I don't know. I just feel pretty confident in Meyer there. But I think 25, 41, 57, 84 are probably the big impact matches.
A lot of good matches.
But if you're looking for like a slept-on match that is going to have just a huge impact and is in the balance, I think 25 and 41. So,
all right.
do we have a
last
line?
pick of the week? We got
hold
one
on.
more.
Do we
Not
have?
done.
We need a team line for this one.
Missouri
We don't have one.
minus...
3,
I was going to give them more.
4,
I was thinking more like 6,
I was
7.
5.
7. Okay, then I got Cornell.
We'll say 5.5.
Hey, I just tipped my hand.
I
He
know.
just changed the line after I made a pick.
I didn't
Well
say what
done.
I said.
I got
I
the
said
bet.
what I was thinking.
Well done.
No, Ollie, you are.
I allow it.
Hold on.
I'll allow it.
But
I
listen,
got Missouri -5.5. I got Missouri.
you're a degenerate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you all right, if the line comes out and you place the bet, yeah, the line can move. But I got my bet.
No,
in.
it wasn't. He was
The
contemplating,
line
Christian.
didn't get set. Line didn't get set. The line was contemplated.
contemplation.
Was not set. And lines move all the time in that world.
I got tricked. So what is the actual line? Are you going to move it after I make this pick?
5.5.
5.5.
For Missouri. I literally have Missouri winning by 5. So I'll take Cornell. Based on
Mizzou.
bang.
All right.
Ben took Missouri.
Okay.
Yes,
I have a
sir.
question.
All right. Go.
Yes.
Because we have some time and it's questions.
Yeah.
So I'm a friend.
No,
so
we have
I'm
one
going to
more
ask you a
pick.
question.
Hold on, Ollie.
Oh,
Hold
yeah,
on for
one more
12
pick. You're right.
seconds.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Caleb
I'm
Smith
sorry.
versus Eric Barnett. Pick 'em. That is Sunday's duel, 2 p.m. Big Ten Network, Nebraska, Wisconsin.
You're taking Barnett, and so am I, Ben.
I believe I'm taking Barnett.
Yeah.
Although, Barnett's had a pretty good season. He got smoked by Terraquina really early,
Yeah.
bad in that duel.
Terraquina's always been his kryptonite the past 2 or 3 years.
Terraquina kind of consistently beats him. But he lost the stance at Midlands, but he doesn't have a ton of other great wins, so it does make me a little nervous. He won one over Cooper Flynn, and then there's not really anyone besides that you would write home about.
I'll go
on the
Caleb
ledger.
Smith, not with a lot of confidence after he got teched by Pat McKee and then didn't wrestle
Yes.
the next duel. But prior to that, I would have gone Caleb Smith. And I think, kind of like Christian said, that match just got out of hand a little bit. So I'll stick with Caleb Smith.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think if I didn't see him get beat so bad, I probably would have went Caleb Smith, but he just got drilled last week, so that makes it hard.
Yeah, you can't unsee that. All right, go ahead, Ollie.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys just made a bunch of picks.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you guys have a pick that you're most confident in this week. What is your lock?
Okay, my lock it in pick of the week. Let me look.
That's a good one. Lock it in, pick of the week. I
don't
feel like
know.
there's no way Spratley's going to beat Terraquina by 5 or more. That kind
Yeah.
of feels like an easy one to me.
I feel good about that one. I actually feel really good about Dayton bonus. I'd probably lock that.
Really?
I felt really good about Doucette covering 3.5.
Oh, I agree on that one.
I have so many locks, it's
I
crazy.
don't.
It's so crazy.
I kind of feel good about Rocco Welsh.
I do too. Feel great
Yeah.
about that one. There's a bunch I do not feel great about, but I'll probably get those right also.
So you guys kind of named a bunch of picks and not so much just one.
All right, Dayton.
It's okay.
Dayton
It's
bonus.
okay.
That's my. I'll say it.
I'll lock in Echmandia.
Tarquino.
Oh, I love that one
Ooh,
too.
Echmandia is a good one. That's a good one
really
too.
good one. That was just the sandbagging Cyclone line, just so he could. So he can pick Anthony. Okay, wait, is that
What was that?
JD farted.
JD ripped one with his.
JD, did you rip one?
Not a real one.
My mouth did.
Yeah.
That was me impersonating CP.
We got questions. All right, do you see any, Ollie?
Do you want me to ask them since you have no screen anymore?
I got my cell phone.
You guys are giving me way too much freedom here. You guys need to have a screen in front of you that like maybe scrolls through the questions or something.
Maybe someday.
All right. First two questions aren't that good. Coach doing the most with the least. I feel like we answer this a lot, but what is your guys' pick on the coach doing the most with the least?
Right now, you got to think maybe Neil Arisman is up there.
Ooh,
Little Rock.
great pick.
I mean, Little Rock beat Arizona State. We talked about it. That should not happen. The advantages that Arizona State has over Little Rock, I don't care who's out, who's in. It's like, no, you should not.
They actually had most of their lineup in, Christian.
And they did. I know. And that's the crazier part. I think he is doing a really, really great job. They stand out, obviously. It's
South Dakota State.
South Dakota State, 100%.
That's what I was going to say, too. And now they have this nice new standalone facility. It's like, yeah, but Damian Hahn made that happen. And, I mean, they just beat Michigan. Same thing. They had, like, 4 starters out or something. Yep. But
I don't give a rip.
Yeah, I think a lot of times wrestling fans lose perception that some of these teams, also like a Lehigh, that are historically good at wrestling, just in other sports, this doesn't happen where South Dakota State beats a Michigan. Like, remember when App State beat Michigan in football, and it's still talked about, even though that was 15 years ago or whatever, as like one of the biggest upsets ever.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That was insane.
And, you know, wrestling, it's not a one-to-one comparison, but it is notable.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else is like Pendleton's doing a great job at Oregon State, but Oregon State's a team that was really good.
Kind of fully funded.
They've got stuff going for them, and they've been really good in the past with some of those Zaleski era and like 9-10-ish.
Northwestern is down this year, but historically what they've been able to do is really impressive with their limits too.
I have a hard time putting Northwestern in that category. I know they have a roster cap that is perfect, but it's like you're an incredible institution in the Big Ten. Like,
yes.
Well, that can also work to negatively as well. It's such an institution, the requirements it takes to get in can also work against you. It can be in your favor because
I think it's pretty rare.
Good kids want to go there as well, but
I think it's pretty rare that happens. I'm sure it happens some that they don't get every kid in, but they in the past when their team isn't stolen from them, they've been pretty good. But no team has lost more talent than Northwestern over the years.
Well, it's just kind of like what I was saying. What other sport is Northwestern even competitive?
Yeah, I don't know.
As in like a top 15 program, which they have been in the past.
They had their moments in football for like a couple of years, but anyway, those are what come to mind. In years past, I would have said Virginia Tech and
Northern
NC
Colorado's
State.
doing a good job.
Yeah, they are. 100% they're doing a good job. So those are the ones. But like you can't now Virginia Tech and NC State, whereas you would have said that now they're kind of like blue blood in a lot of ways. Both those schools are.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's a good question.
All right, next question. I thought this was a good one. Actually, I can't see Ollie right now, but I feel like where he's at would be great for this.
Okay.
Can you guys actually bring back a real whiteboard war for Iowa State, Okie State?
No, because Ben won't pick matches that he doesn't care about.
Oh, I think he just wants us
you
to
know
make
what I'm saying?
a
Two
floor
guys
one. Yeah.
in person. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with Ben. No, yeah, we could do that. I think they still
Mark
do.
Bader, baby.
Well, that's the
He's a
idea
master
of
picker.
picking every duel or every match in a duel here. It's just a whiteboard without an actual whiteboard.
I don't think he gets it, Ben.
Yeah, the
doesn't get
whiteboard is
it.
big on
Too
the
young.
whiteboard war, though.
We're not saying to do it for the show. We're just saying just make it generally. I thought a good question was,
Sorry, I just wanted to go to war here on the show.
what's more impressive? What's more impressive, Kale the wrestler or Kale the coach?
Ooh, great one.
So
he is both hitting unprecedented territory. Maybe not unprecedented as a coach because Cable did it.
It's getting close.
But I would say no one else has gone undefeated in college wrestling. It will never be done again.
I don't know if
So
it'll never
I'm
be done
going.
again.
I don't think it's going to be done again anytime soon.
It'll take at least 4 years.
I'm going wrestler.
I'm kind of with it. I'm kind of with wrestler too because I'm looking at it from an American perspective. Like, let's just think American wrestling. Like, he is far and away the greatest American wrestler of all time in our style, right? I think that matters. He is in a debate to be the greatest coach of all time. He might be, and when it's all said and done, he might be. But the Gable run is still something he is, chasing down or matching in real time, whereas he's already done that, and he is an Olympic champion. So I say wrestler, but I don't know.
It could change.
You could talk me into coach too, because
It's also extremely impressive what he's been doing as a coach when you consider the fact that high school wrestling as a whole, I think, is getting better. So theoretically, you'd be like, oh, well, these other teams should be getting extremely good talents as well, which they are. They just still can't match what Penn State is doing. And now
I feel like that makes it easier though. If you were a good coach, I'm
at the depth. The depth.
I'm
in
an
high
idiot.
School
No, you're right. You're right.
is
You're right.
deeper.
You're right. You're right.
So there's less separation between, your
Correct.
top 3 guys on a big board from your number 20 through 50.
yeah.
There is
Yes,
the
correct.
thing, though,
You're
for
right.
like the success as a coach, you need a lot more things to go right that you have a lot less control over. Whereas Kale he can do all that work himself. He can make sure he's winning. But you have a lot of other people, other coaches, your lineup that you need to get them to be doing the right thing. So it's like an extra layer of control you don't have.
Well, that's also, but I was thinking he has coaches, a very good coaching staff
Good
that
point.
assists him.
Good point.
Nobody was assisting him out there on the mat.
Good
Obviously, he had
point.
coaches that coached him up, but obviously, if you remove Kale from the picture at Penn State, it doesn't work. But okay, if you take away Casey Cunningham from Penn State, do they still have that same success? I don't know.
Well, it's interesting. I did that video about, Saban and Kale. And one thing that, as you compare them, now Saban's retired, but Saban every other year would lose all his top coordinators. They would all get really good jobs because they would have all this success. The defense would be good. The offense would be good. So they'd go. Kale has been able to keep those 2 guys the entire time. And that continuity cannot be understated. How much that helps.
Yes.
That you're not, it's a little different because there's no offense or defense in wrestling, like coordinators. But I think
You also get the advantage of being able to coach Olympians and world champions as
absolutely.
And
an
they stay
assistant
around.
coach.
And they stay around.
That's another
also.
notch to Kale, that he has acquired the resources to keep all those guys around an in-state college.
And I don't know if it's just the resources. I think it's obviously that they're compensated well, but like they get ownership over like really significant things. You mentioned the Olympic. Casey is in the corner for David Taylor in his Olympic finals. Like that's real. You're coaching at the highest level in the biggest matches in our sports history. Like that matters too. Okay, good question.
All right.
Hard answer.
I got two more good ones.
Okay.
Number one, I'm gonna do the one that the last one's kind of funny-ish, but good. Will Carter Strachey have a limited match count hurt his chances at Hodge? He is currently 6-0, all 6 bonus, none of which are all that significant. Obviously, the All-Star is not on there.
Right. So I think, it can hurt him for sure. And it depends how many guys go undefeated. I mean, his teammate is also going for his 4th title, Aaron Brooks. So they're certainly competing against each other. And it will get interesting as you look at Hodge and, 4-timers often get it. Now, Yanni didn't get it last
lost.
year because he lost.
He lost.
Now, one thing you have to consider here, if Strachey and Brooks both win, do they do the double Hodge again, Ben?
I hate the double Hodge.
They probably will. They set a precedent.
But
All right, so
But it does hurt.
But what if Keegan has 10 more matches than them and a very similar bonus rate?
Yeah, a tougher weight class.
Much tougher weight class.
I mean,
that will impact
Carter
my
could have the
vote.
maximum of 12 matches before Big Tens would be his match. If he wrestles every single match from now until Big Tens, it's 12.
So he could be 20, like 20
21
and
and 0 maybe?
21?
20 and 0, something like
Yeah.
that.
He could get the pigtail. He could be a 33 seed.
Yep.
And then he'd get an extra match.
No, well, I was thinking at the Big Tens, he'll probably get a bye. He'll get a bye first round, so he'll have a quarter, a semi, and a final. So that's 3. That'd be 15, and then
Yeah.
5 at nationals.
Yep, agreed.
So 20 and 0.
So 20 and 0. That's not like Kyle Snyder in 2016 when he came back and he was like, I think 10 or 12 and 0 after he won NCAAs, really low number.
Yeah. So in comparison, Christian, Aaron Brooks is only 8 and 0 with no significant opponents right now either.
Exactly. So my point being, I guess, if Carter's 20 and 0 and Aaron is 22 and 0, I'm probably not really dinging him for having 2 fewer matches. I'll look at bonus rate, quality of competition, things like that. And that's where Keegan, who are the top Hodge contenders right now? 25, none. Skip that. 33.
Vito, but Vito lost, so not
No,
him.
Vito's not.
Dayton.
Dayton would have to win. Crookham would have to win. I don't see us getting the Hodge out of 33. 41.
There's no way.
Real, if he runs the table.
To me, it's Keegan, Starachi, Brooks. If they go undefeated, if one of them loses, then it's a 2-horse race. I don't envision a scenario where all 3 lose a match. So I think it goes to one of those 3 guys or 2 of those 3 guys.
What about Kirk Fleet?
That's the other name I was going to say. He could be. And he's got some bonus point wins. Scores a lot of points.
I just don't see it. I don't think his bonus rate.
He's only 7 and 0, and he's only 57% bonus. I would not.
Yes.
And there's a
almost
heavyweight
glad he's
bias.
out.
There's a heavyweight bias.
Big time.
And he doesn't have the back resume, the titles to compete with Starachi to make up the ground for just as many matches as them and a lower bonus percentage.
I don't like how that's involved.
Mitchell, 13 and 0, 85% bonus.
Ooh. The thing is, he's got to win a lot of matches.
I should say, if Keegan or Mitchell obviously goes undefeated at 65 with a very high bonus rate, they get into contention as well. If David wouldn't have lost to Ramirez and ran the table undefeated, he would obviously be in the running as well. But
I don't think Real could be a finalist if he goes undefeated.
anybody who goes undefeated and is an NCAA champion is a finalist.
And then but I don't think we'll get a finalist at 49, at 57. I don't think we'll get one at 84, although maybe Parker.
84. Parker's he's actually currently 16 and 0, 87% bonus.
Ooh.
That's a high.
That's actually
rate.
impressive.
He's had a tough schedule too.
Yes.
And he already beat Truax. Yeah, okay. So Parker could get in there. We'll know more come conference season, but it does feel like it'll be Brooks. I'm kind of with JD. Brooks, Starachi, Keegan. Feels like it's one of those 3.
Man, I think AWA's got 3 finalists after talking through this. 3 of the top 7 right now.
2 of them at the same weight.
Yeah.
2 of them at the same weight
Son of a
somehow.
gun. Man, Real's only at 50% bonus. Did you guys realize that?
No.
Yeah. He's got, I mean, that's not great. 12 and 0, 50% bonus. He's got decisions against Vance Fombauer, Brock Hardy, Josh Coderhan, Lachlan McNeil, CJ Caposto in an overtime match against Anthony Etchemendia.
When Real is not able to turn somebody, sometimes he struggles to bonus point them.
Last year he would come out, get the takedown, go right to the tilt. Yeah.
But if he's not able to get that, sometimes he slows down a little bit and isn't able to pick up bonus.
Well, it's time to go.
All right.
We did it.
Fun question? No, we have one question. Give us one more minute.
Okay.
Christian.
All right.
As we approach episode 1000, what are some of your favorite running jokes, memories from the show? And maybe we save this question for episode 1000.
Oh, yeah.
Some that are coming to mind is CP getting his lawn mowed for free, Brecky being done with Joey Gunther. That was a good one.
That was funny.
Bray's Hotel Dream. That was funny also. And the bathroom bandit. I don't know what that one was.
Oh, the beer cans. In
That
the
was
toilet.
crazy. There's a lot, and there's some others that come to mind as well. And we'll get into. We're just 5 episodes
Johnny
away.
from Roanoke.
Johnny from Roanoke, episode 2, Forever Legend. If y'all get Johnny from Roanoke on the show, episode 1000, I'll take whatever he's got. I would love it. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to be back. Oh, shoot. Monday. We'll do it again right here. Will Ollie be back? That's the question.
I don't like waking up early on Mondays.
Well, we need you. Oh, look at Ben. Cocky Ben Askren rubbing it in. But you know what? He's not humble. And that's going to be his downfall when it comes to pick'ems. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. Watch some wrestling. That's what we're going to do. See you next time. Goodbye.